Hey, what's going on, everybody in Evony? This is Knox here, making a video on server do's and don'ts, the entire week spanned rather than just the 2-day server wars portion of it where you go on the other server. Yeah, and it is an entire week process. Granted, you kind of get the sexy rewards, the keep. I guess I only get to keep this for 2 weeks. But anyways, we're coming off a pretty good server win. There's a little bit of trash talking. I'll kind of get into that as well. I'll kind of leave that end portion to the end. But the beginning of it, my recommendations, it's not in any order. So there's not a troop training event this day, like specifically this day. There's not a monster killing this specific day. It's all really random. So in the order that I give it to you is not the actual order. It's going to be different every week, right? So I'll kind of get into troop training. Ours was first this time. And a lot of the people, well, I won't call anybody out, but basically you don't want to blow all your resources on training troops. Because you can easily, at the end of it, if that person like just goes crazy, somebody that just sits back and saves their resources or whatever, and does decent, they could end up still beating you in the KE event, and those points would then go on top of yours that you spent all this resources on. So basically, what I'm getting at is don't blow all your resources on the troop training event just to get a victory in one thing. It's a whole week process. So train what you need, train what you want to get, set small incremental goals, and then do that. Don't go just balls to the wall and spend everything. Because you're going to need that at the end as well. I'll kind of get into that for the server event, or for the server war part. And then, the next one, there's construction / research, excuse me. My recommendation, if you have some gold on the side, you already upgraded your generals, and you're not really going to put too much into your generals and refining them and things like that. Do a couple of researches, to help that out. What I would recommend to kind of save on resources for maybe troop training is next or whatever your order is. But I just like to go and do farms. They require less speed ups. They require less resources to build. Granted, they're not going to give you like what your keep would. I mean, if you're going to upgrade your keep, obviously, like that is probably a pretty good time. If you already have it upgraded or whatever, yes, that's a good time. But not everybody is going to be able to upgrade their keep every server event, right? So if you pretty much all your buildings are at where you want to be at, just do those farms, because you're gonna benefit from them for the rest of the time that you're playing. Like, those resources are always going to be gaining resources, so it's just a good way to double up. The next one would be resource gathering. I logged on a little bit late that day, so I kind of got behind the 8 ball, but I still got 50 million. And there was a lot of people saying getting on gem mines. You don't want to get on gem mines. Gem mines take forever to drain. Yes, they give you a lot of points, but you can get 15 million points off 5 marches in about 5 hours. So you can easily get 60 million points just off the tiles, the resource tiles. Gem mines just take way too long. So I would definitely recommend staying on those resource tiles. For killing monsters, there's a monster killing event. What I would recommend is kill these level 20 guys. Are just commons. I would use 3, maybe 4 marches. I just used 3 marches, and I basically found all I could, and I would just use those 3 marches to just constantly go after it. And then the other 2 marches I did for rallies. Could you do no rallies? Sure, you could do no rallies. But why not do at least 2 rallies, and then everybody's stacking up on their commons? Because if you're doing rallies, you're getting better resources, and it's an accumulative event, right? So everybody's getting that versus just you getting that. So 3 marches on commons, 2 marches, maybe 1 march, whatever your keep is, on actual bosses that you guys are trying. And then the last event is going to be power increase. Basically what I would recommend doing is traps do help on that one. I would build traps if you can still build traps. This gonna be one of your better time to build traps and actually get rewards for it is that power increase. There's a couple of other things you can do, like some people say, like, you know, if you have wounded troops before the event, you can heal them back up, but that's kind of hard to do because you don't really know when it's gonna happen and this and that. And then kind of going into it, you can take mayors out before the event, but you really don't know when the event's going to happen, so you do it the whole week, or do you not, you know, because then if you put the mayors in there, then you gain power. So those are two little side notes. They're kind of hard to pull off. I mean, unless you want to sit around and not have some troops and not have mayors for an entire week and you're just waiting for that one, sure, you know, go do what you got to do. But majority of us are probably just going to do traps. We're not going to play the system that hard. I mean, I'm not going to. You guys can do whatever you want. So, yeah, that's that. So that's the 5 events. The 6th event, which you're going to see, is going to be your server wars. And, of course, I got to show that right now. So I did get first place, obviously, right there. So for that, if you're one of the smaller players, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stay in your server. You're going to want to protect your temples, and you're going to want to always stay off tiles and always stay shielded unless you see something that is that you can take on. We had a lot of mistakes in ours. I'll get into this. There was multiple people that go to the enemy server the first time when all of I call them my alpha team, my bigger players. We have a set team, and we pretty much roll together, do all of our events together, and we're very successful. Smaller players would kind of tag along, and at first I didn't want to tell them no, because I didn't want to be that guy, be like, no, you can't come. So I let them come. Most of them got zeroed. The players that got zero and just left and just called it a night were actually better off, because there were certain individuals that or there's certain people that, you know, they got zeroed like 4 or 5 times, and it's like, I was telling them, like, man, stop coming over here, because it's so easy to pull cords off people. You just go into this, you'll still be able to see it now. You'll go into a server event right here. You go into enemy ranking of enemy servers. You go to the alliance. You click this. You go and you just scroll down, and if there's 2 yellow swords on their name, they're in your server. Like, we're the biggest alliance, and it's so easy for them. All they gotta do is spend 2,000 gems, or if they have the items, and they can find you in a heartbeat. And then the biggest player is now attacking you, and it's super easy for these smaller players to get zeroed. And they're not smaller players, you know, they're like, you know, 50 to 100 million power players. But if you're going against a 250, 300 million power player, just an easy wipe. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Just do those little things. It's like I said, it's a week-long process. Almost forgot this. The reason why you don't want to spend all your resources in the beginning on training troops is if you get attacked, or if you attack somebody and you want to bring your troops back, it costs a lot of resources. So if you just burn them all in the beginning in the troop training event, it's going to be very difficult to bring those troops back and then be effective and hopefully place in the top 5 to get your sexy rewards that you're looking for. It's kind of why we're here. And that's pretty much all I got on the server event. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. Just remember, if I see you in a server war, I might not be so nice.